During my permanence in the Congo in 1967, I noticed many times trucks and lorries and vehicles transporting weapons which were captured by the mercenaries. Those weapons belonged to the Simbas. They were carried to the area of Aba Faraji to give them to the South Sudanese rebels who were fighting the central government forces of Khartoum. In exchange, those rebels were securing the area and were protecting the mercenaries on the border because, in exchange they were getting the weapons, and we didn't have to worry about those borders. We had those South Sudanese fighters, they were fighting the rebels as well. And in exchange, the mercenaries used to train them and teach them how to use those weapons. There were a group. The commanding officer was the Major Ferdinando Goy, who used to command a group of South Sudanese fighters. They were fighting and helping the mercenaries to fight the Simbas. In exchange, they were getting weapons and were trained by the mercenaries. During the mid-60s, I was asked by a Western power to guard and transport a load of weapons consisting of about 1,000 Kalashnikovs, AK-47s, some RPG-7 rocket launchers, mortars 61 and 81 millimeters, and GPMG light machine guns. Those weapons were coming across the Lake Tanganyika at the northern point of the lake, which was separated by Bujumbura, the capital of Burundi, and Uvira on the Congo. Those weapons were transported with canoes by the fishermen during the night, and we transported them on the ground, and we load them in false bottoms of trucks and Land Rovers. And they were destined for the South Sudan Liberation Front fighters, and they were guarding the border near Abel Faraji with Uganda and South Sudan. We also had a cover. We were supposed to be road builders, busy taking information, local information, and to build the road that was going from Uvira up north. And we had some cash and supplies just in case we met some groups of deserters which left the national army, and they were going around looting and robbing people. But we didn't have any problem. We were ready for any eventuality in case we were attacked, but it didn't happen. The voyage was quite smooth. while my men, I had a group of mercenaries with me under my command. They were instructing some of the fighters in the use and of the mortars and the AK-47. I had a nice chat, a nice conversation with the leader, a colonel by the name of John Garang. I was very impressed with him because he was a very intelligent man, and we were talking about South Africa, and usually I was a little bit concerned about the reaction of Africans about the policy of South Africa, but I found that John Garang was quite understanding. He said that thanks to the situation in South Africa was a pearl in the African continent. And he was a very intelligent man, and he told me about his studies in the United States of America, and he told me that he had the vision to unite the South and the North Sudan, because the North had the know-how and they had a good administration, while the South had the oil and the richness of the soil and the minerals and everything. He wanted to make a joint effort with the government of Khartoum. And I was very impressed with him because he was a very knowledgeable man, and he wasn't aggressive at all. He spoke a beautiful language, and he had a vision for Africa. Unfortunately, later on I heard that he died in very mysterious circumstances. There was a speculation that his helicopter was sabotaged, but that I cannot comment because I wasn't informed and nobody told me exactly what happened. But I remember this character, and he was so sharp and so educated that I thought he could have easily become the president of a united Sudan at that time. And I suppose people like John Garang, they are a little bit of a nail in the side of the other African leaders. The African leaders are corruptible, and John Garang seems to me to be a very honest man with a vision.